Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one of the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
E aí, Ju? Dorme não, mano?
Jack, I've got some important news.
Nossa,
Head of the CIA
pior
has
que o
finally
começo
given
desse
us
jogo
the green
é
light for the virtuous
20
mission.
minutos de historinha.
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles.
Good vibe.
His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov.
Nem dá pra ver a
Isn't that
imagem
famous
do
rocket
cara.
scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The president demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the
Metal
time, we had
Gear.
no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us. Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selinoyarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle. you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name...
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke.
No. There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject.
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer. You'll also find some medical supplies in your back.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a...
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where...
No problem.
To climb a tree, stand in front of it. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. My frequency is 140.85. If you need to talk to me, use... Okay, Snake. I see you've retrieved... To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your back. In the survival viewer, choose your available from that list for other equipment.
Got it.
Yep, that's survival is... After you've been... If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't... Keep an eye on your stamina, so to recover loss, you can use...
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted. However, the suppressor will do once it's due. The suppressor's durable. Any weapons and equipment beyond...
I have to find my own weapons and equipment?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox op. You can't leave any... No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or... Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of... There aren't supposed to be any. You can't let anyone see you. You're a ghost, and there'll be no...
Then I'll just...
I'm afraid. SIS guideline. Tape it to your body.
How generous.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead.
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before...
That's the one. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to...
I'll keep it in mind.
Right.
I guess that...
Correct.
A real one...
Relax.
Who?
I'll introduce this time. So the first member of the support team will be in, as well as recording your mission. She's a member...
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular captain.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorized. She's going to be served.
Boss?
She also helped me plan this mission.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me. Talk to me.
It's been 5 years. Set, you can tell just by the sound.
Of course I can.
Really?
What's that?
Why'd you disappear?
I was on a top secret. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted.
No. I taught you everything you needed to know about. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on
Techniques, sure.
how to think. A soldier needs to be, in fact, spirit, and I can't teach. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always would. Having personal feelings and politics determine who, and politics are yesterday's good.
Is that why you...
No, it had nothing to do with you. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given, but you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier is a political tool, and that's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place. He has no enemies, and you follow the orders you're given.
I do whatever I have to.
That's not the same thing. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just... There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being paid.
It means devoting yourself to...
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if...
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up...
I follow the will of the leader.
People aren't the ones who dictate the mission.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time. And so do the leaders. So there's no such thing as an enemy. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed...
The only thing we can is the mission, Jack.
All right.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end, and as long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me.
Yes?
It's good.
Same here. Snake, you were always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings, but this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are
CQC? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably...
Not to worry. I'll be after...
Where are you, boss?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a...
My frequency is 141.80.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current... Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Saving the game, Snake? Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Snake, do you see any tufts?
Yeah,
What kind of?
just ordinary.
You should.
It's pretty thick.
If you crawl into the grass, you can advance under. When you do, the camera automatically switches. If you want to stand up again, if you press this
You.
pretty useful. Shall we carry on? Even when hidden in grass, if you make a noise, that Sokolov.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through this. Change your. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, but if you crawl instead, you can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index shows how the higher the value, the harder you are to spot. The key is to make yourself one with nature.
Not too bad.
Who's that? Who's that?
HQ respond.
This is HQ.
Control here. Enemy sighted.
Who's that?
HQ, respond.
Speak. We won't hand over Sokolov. Speak. Let go of me. Who's that?
HQ, respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. Enemy sighted. Requesting backup.
Who's that? that?